A United States congressman has formally called on the Nigerian government to ensure that all
UK are in massive trouble as I'm speaking with you. They are in serious panic because the King Charles is secretly begging Trump. He's saying suspend Nnamdi Kanu's freedom. That the moment Nnamdi Kanu comes out, the unity of Nigeria is destroyed. A lot of people are saying, why is King Charles so disturbed? The other time we saw him in UK and US meeting with the Congress members, and Trump now is telling the Congress member, telling Michael Rubio, see to Nnamdi Kanu's freedom. What is your take as regards UK finally in trouble as regards Nnamdi Kanu's freedom?
That's what we are hearing, that the recent decision to free Nnamdi Kanu by the US government, sent a very big shock to the British government and, of course, to the royal family, King Charles. Before now, yes, there were rumors that Donald Trump or the congressmen actually briefed King Charles when he visited the United States of America that Nigeria cannot remain the way they are, and that Biafran agitation has come to the Oval Office. Right now, Trump's table. Briefly, I think they were able to let him know that very clearly. And some people were, among other reasons, well, one of the reasons why, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, rushed to Britain as at that time. Yeah. And immediately Bola Ahmed Tinubu left British, that visit as at that time, as I hope a lot of you can remember, yeah. And we complained that this were part of the thing they went to UK to do. Then the next few weeks or thereafter, we saw King Charles in Washington with Donald Trump. On that process, Biafra matter was also, terrible, because what is happening to Nigeria has attracted a more global attention. And several questions were asked. Yes, according to World Report that we actually, got. But this time around, we are seeing, after all said and done, because you remember that after the return, Bola Ahmed Tinubu returned from Britain, there was this energy, there was this spirit that enveloped him. He felt that he has gotten to, spoken to the British king, and there's nothing anybody can do. So he used that presence of visiting royal visit, let me put it that way, to begin to create a kind of impression, because the issue of Nnamdi Kanu was also mentioned, there, and they saw Nigerians protesting against Bola Ahmed Tinubu's visit to King Charles. But that is not, I'm not trying to give you brief, why they suddenly now came out and started lobbying. Immediately the congressmen concluded on their decision on the Biafra struggle, especially why there is reason why they said Nnamdi Kanu should be released, because in that matter, the judgment that sentenced Nnamdi Kanu to prison has been totally, seen as a manipulation, a clear-cut judicial manipulation, just to make sure that at the end of the day they find a way, after so many years of adjournment and order, at the end of the day, they were able to, because they couldn't find anything. So, and I learned that the British were so happy, but they didn't know that things would turn around the way it is now. And that is a classified information. So, but the pressure and the presence of people who were questioning the rationale why they should use a repeat law, and that after all, what Nnamdi Kanu actually stood for has become a very clear thing. Now, the Yorubas and Hausas are using Nnamdi Kanu's own video as national anthem. So I think he has gotten, he has taken a phenomenal global initiative. So at that point where the US actually, Marco Rubio actually passed that message, the Congress passed that message, that they have gotten to a final conclusion that they don't have any option that to break up Nigeria, and they cannot break up Nigeria while Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention, Sokoto prison. That was what triggered the the British Prime Minister, King Charles, the royal family, begging and pleading that if this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released, with U.S. intervention, that definitely that's the end of Nigeria. But surprisingly, the Michael Rubio, having had that statement, replied the British government in that regard and tell them, I think we saw what happened in Iran, Strait of Hormuz, that the British denied. They say they are not getting involved. So that it is time for America to take decision without listening. They don't want to hear anybody on the issue of Nigeria, and they have taken that decision, and they can refuse to share publicly that they can no longer share intelligence with what they actually know, but they just brief them. They cannot come about and be telling United States of America that Nigeria should not break up, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should not be released, that the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu means total breakup of in Nigeria. But yes, Bakurobio has given them the response, they required. But do not forget, everybody that watching this video, that in all that is playing out, the Sultan of Sokoto is involved, the Bola Tinubu is involved, the federal government is involved, trying to pressure.
You are saying they are involved, but do you not think the president, this caliphate, have what it takes to, talk to Marco Rubio to do the needful? Just like Ralimo, let people say Marco Rubio, Ralimo has, changed his words as he gets Nnamdi Kanu's freedom and the total division of Nigeria.
Before now, that's what we are talking about. We listen to Ted Cruz, we listen to Ralimo. These are top U.S. senators, congressmen, who made it very clearly that they have been given enough time to abolish anything that has to do with caliphate, Sokoto, anything, Sharia, whatever, But they said no. That it's not possible. They cannot be able to do that, even though it is clear that Nigeria is actually running a Sharia-driven constitution, and that is the fact. So on that angle, that diplomatic channel might no longer be there. So what Nigerian government did was to back up their diplomatic channels, to reach out to the congressmen by pumping billions of dollars, using massive lobby firm and others. But you can see what is happening now. People are waiting to see how Bola Tinubu is going to challenge the American authority now on release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And the UK is saying, please, who do we talk to now in the US Congress? Because the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu means, I think the UK government understand it very well, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release means breakup of Nigeria, because from what we are hearing from intelligence source, it will be the one to engage international community when Biafra recognition, instrumentalities will be handed over for proper takeoff of Biafran government. We pray that this thing happens as quickly as possible, because what we are hearing, that there is uprising and there is a massive emergency meeting that has been going on with Aso Rock ever since that statement was made public and published all over the world, that American government has actually intervened on the issue of Biafra struggle and demand that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu be released. And that's what the angle that the UK government and the royal family, is trying to put it out completely.
But the monarchy, why do you not think they are not coming out to be explicit, condemning this Fulani attack on every part of Nigeria? They said, is it that the Britain are happy that Nigeria is this way so that they can continue to reap from our mineral resources? Do you not think, why do you think that the monarchy are not coming out openly to kick against the continuous insecurity in every part of Nigeria?
I think it's an indictment on their side, because they felt that they have contributed a lot. Nigeria stands a chance to lose a lot of properties now owned by Nigeria abroad, because the Pan-African Institute, Dr. Masanja is taking that up already. That the amount of properties Nigerians have abroad, anywhere in the world now, cannot be able to pay the damages done to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, both locally and internationally. So Nigeria is definitely going to face international court, on the fractured sensibility of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's human rights. That is a very dangerous one again at the end of the day, because judgment, the process has already started. So Nigeria is in serious danger now, because the world is rising up over years of abuse of fundamental human rights, and of course criminality, sponsorship of terrorism, and of course killing of Christians, in Nigeria, and maybe possibly, looking at why the British government has not been able to come out and condemn exactly what was going on, because they knew that it would become an embarrassment to them. They would have successfully embarrassed the Northern Caliphate. They would have successfully embarrassed the Southern of Sokoto, which they believe they are the sole ally in Nigeria here. But like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made in one of his videos, that the Fulani has lost diplomatic ties. He said it many years ago with the British government, that those ties can no longer exist as far as Biafran question remain unanswered. So that is what the message is all about. But the fact, the takeaway there is very clear. What is definitely going to happen at the end of the day. You can see that the BBC documentary too is also raging somewhere else, has been published by the British government, and the British Broadcasting Corporation, edited and authored by a Yoruba man. You can see all those kind of things, which many people has come to condemn. Many people have said it was a fair deal and all that. But that notwithstanding, nobody can tell the Biafran story apart from Biafrans themselves. All those things that are pushing those narratives outside there, they're trying to tell you that, manipulate a process that will make the international community see Biafra as not a worthy project to embark on. But all those things has actually been defeated by the reality on ground. Today, Southwest is in turmoil. Yoruba land is completely, upside down. I'm not saying the Biafran land are not facing the challenges of jihadist invasions. That's the truth. But there's nothing like bandits in Nigeria. These are jihadists trying to take control of Nigeria completely by engaging in armed conquest. It's armed conquest, at the end of the day. So the best thing I keep on saying, that the best thing to do is to disintegrate Nigeria and allow, because if you look at it very well, what are they actually fighting for? I think they are fighting for a caliphate government, the caliphate regime, where they can actually practice or do whatever they want to do based on their religion. And one Nigeria, and that's what I'm trying, the message I'm passing to Mike Arnold, the one Nigeria, cohabiting with these people means continuous infiltration, whether state police or no state police. So they are going to use the concept of one Nigeria to continue to infiltrate every nook and cranny and continue to carry out these nefarious activities. And why you are saying this is very unfortunate is that, imagine where we don't have a president like Donald Trump. Imagine where we don't have a president, a prime minister like, Benjamin Netanyahu. Imagine what Nigeria would have become at this point.
So, in other words, do you think that the Britain now should be seeking for division? Do you think the British should be now, advising the Nigerian government to, supporting the division of Nigeria?
No, the British cannot be able to do that and come out publicly and say, okay, what I gave birth to, even though they never gave birth to Biafra. Britain never gave birth to Biafra. What Britain gave birth to was Nigeria. Now, Biafra has never been part of Nigeria, and that's the fact. And Biafra was not colonized. There was no time Biafra was colonized by the British. Biafra was a separate entity on its own. The people that Britain colonized are Nigeria, gave them name and do all manner of things. Biafra was not in that picture. And as a matter of fact, so Britain cannot claim responsibility of Biafran freedom, because Biafra was not colonized by the Britain. But you see, what they did was an amalgamation of the Biafran territory with the other territories of Nigeria. As simple as that. But this deep reservation they seem to have for Biafrans, and especially the Igbo people, is what is making them look as if they cannot come out fully to say this is the decision. Well, because they are the one that advised Gowon to actually go to that war, because it was purely a religious war and an oil war. That's the fact. So they don't have that boldness to say yes, but the reality of ground has shown that that is the direction for now, and the world is actually not interested in anything that has to do with one Nigeria anymore. What the world is interested is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's popularity, fame has spread all over the world today. Thank God his enemies are using his name now as a reference point, as a national anthem to attract global attention on the issues of insecurity in Nigeria. The issues of insecurity in Nigeria is not about insecurity only. It is about jihad in Nigeria. That's what it means. I want to say to Makurabio, who has been given the mandate of liberation of Biafrans and of course freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, without consulting anybody, you just tell the answer of what the US want to do. As simple as that. They don't get anything to respond to that regard, and that is the only way Christians in Nigeria can be saved, by creating a safe nation called Biafra out of Nigeria. To a lot of people, they call it the rebirth of Biafra. Biafra was not colonized by the British government. Thank you.